Whoops. Maybe hit the window. I guess it's fine. Hi everyone, it's Theodore. Welcome to today. So, oh yeah, there's a cat back there. I'll talk about her later. Today I want to talk to you about something different. This is how I feel about it. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that the entire system finds very embarrassing and hard to talk about, and we kind of avoid talking to people about it right now, but I don't think that that's really going to help us deal with it. So instead of not talking about it, I'm going to try talking about it now. Okay? So we have had this problem, this little medical problem, since 2015, probably. It's called a pilonidal cyst. It's a rather large cyst that it's a rather large cyst that grows in, oh my god, it's so hard to talk about. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, it's gonna be fine. It's a big cyst that grows in your ass, right in your crack. Mine grows right, it always feels like it's right at the bottom of my tailbone, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with your tailbone. That's where it feels like it exists. So that's where the pain is located when it flares, because it's just a constant infection. So the only way, if it keeps doing that, if it keeps recurring all the time, the only way you can deal with it is surgery. So that's where we're at now. It keeps recurring several times a year. So we have to have surgery to get rid of it. However, this is a problem. Big problem. Because that requires being unconscious and letting other people care for us while we're unconscious and trusting them to not mess it up. It means letting strangers look at our butt. And that feels really bad. Really, really bad. And then the surgeon that we saw about it, he was a man. And he didn't take the time to understand our disability. And so when we were trying to ask him about the healing process and how to do that, he was just like, oh, you're going to be fine. You just shower twice a day just to rinse it off and it'll heal, no problem. Usually it heals within 2 weeks to a month. And I was like, we shower 2 to 3 times a month. Okay. It takes a lot of energy for us to shower. And then he was like, but you're clean, so how do you stay clean? And we were just like, well, a crap ton of baby wipes. That's our strategy. So he was just like, yeah, that'll be fine. You won't need any help. It's your activities won't be limited. It's going to be totally great. And then we were like, well, last time we had anesthesia, we had seizures when we were waking up from it. And he was like, oh, well, it'll be fine. We'll tell the anesthesiologist and it'll be fine. And he at some one point was like, I'm just trying to instill some confidence in you that you can do this. But he wasn't really doing that. He was just making us feel like he wasn't paying attention to our questions and to our concerns. It just felt like he was writing them off as like, you're young, you'll be fine. So that makes me really not want to use him as my surgeon, because I'm like, what happens if there's a problem? What happens if healing is really hard for me to do? What happens if it gets infected? Like, I need to know I am comfortable enough to get help, and I'm not very comfortable with this doctor. So that's a problem. Usually we're not comfortable with men as our doctors in general. It's better to have women. It's terrible to terrible having to just kind of assume that the male doctors are probably not going to help us very well and the female doctors are, because that isn't always the case. We've had some great male doctors and we've had some really shitty female doctors. But in general, this is what we found, so we try to see mostly women as doctors. So I think we might need to find a female surgeon in order to do this surgery, but that means probably waiting even longer to get it done because it takes a while to schedule. So that's just like scheduling nonsense. It's not really about how we feel. And this is a video about how we feel, which is terrible. I do not want to let anybody look at my butt now. I feel so embarrassed about it, and embarrassed that there's this problem that I don't know why it feels so gross to me, but it feels gross. It's just this problem that I can't get rid of on my own, that I have to have somebody else help me with, that I can't just take a medication to help me. I have to literally get cut open. Yeah. So it makes me just want to be like, nope, no surgery. We're just going to keep dealing with it like we have been dealing with it for years. It'll be annoying, but at least we don't have to face having surgery. That's a really bad decision, probably. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen in the end with this thing. Probably we'll end up having surgery because it's an infection. Our body needs to have less infections. So that's just how our course of treatments have to go. But it's also so embarrassing. Like, I don't even understand how or why it can feel this way, but it does. I guess when we think of having any surgeries, it feels often like this. Like, we thought about having top surgery a lot. And that also, it doesn't feel so as embarrassing as having someone go like dig around in our butt to take out a cyst. It feels more like having someone manhandle our chest and then rip open our muscles. So either way, it's just so violent and so like much trauma to do to our body, and we want to run from trauma at every option. So it's hard to like willingly put ourselves through this. I wish it was more of like an emergency surgery, so it would just have to happen right now, because then there wouldn't be all this extra time to build up all this anxiety and think about it and have nightmares about it. Yeah, we have nightmares about it every night right now. So if it could just like happen and be done and over with, that would probably be better. But it's not an emergency surgery. It's one you can schedule out. So right now it's scheduled for January, which feels like a long time away, but also feels like it's gonna come so soon. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that, I guess. Yep. I'm hoping that by just talking about it and putting it out into the world that I'll feel better about it and more capable of getting it done. But I'm also a little bit not confident that that's how that will work. I just don't feel very confident. I just feel like it's not a good time. But I feel like it's never going to be a good time also. So we'll keep you in the loop and let you know what happens. Yeah, that's all for this one. Believe yourselves. Believe in yourselves. Keep living, and we're going to see you soon. Bye.